You can take a good man out of Wisconsin, but you can't. I don't remember how the rest of it is.
We don't really pay rent, to be honest.
Yeah, you live in a town of 2,000 people, dude.
Yeah, we don't. I think Fitz,
where you're allowed to knock down walls at an auto body shop.
Fitz
different world. This is something that I won't make the won't make it off the cutting room floor. What the fuck are they talking about? I thought it was a Golden Tee podcast.
And he doesn't play Golden Tee.
Not yet.
No,
That's all it takes is a couple games.
Yeah, well,
next thing you know, he'll be on a vodcast and be like, "You remember where you got?" I remember the first time I played. Because I'm curious as fuck.
What does that do to a guy? I just lost my first match to a 9-year-old.
Your current world champion. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in, or welcome if this is your first time. This is episode number 8, and we have the current world champion and one of the cooler guys that you will meet on tour or most likely anywhere else, Mr. Mark Gomez. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Chiz?
Oh, doing great, man.
I appreciate the one of the nicest guy comments. I don't hear that very often, I guess.
Well, I can edit out the part where you can just pay me the $20 in Venmo. Perfect. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It worked out very smoothly. I asked you to join, and you're like, "Yeah, let's do it this week." Everyone's got different lives and different shit going on, so sometimes it's not so smooth and it takes a few weeks, but I appreciate you doing it kind of short notice.
Yeah, not a problem. I got a pretty open schedule, so.
And let's see, tell the folks at home who might not know where you're from, where you currently reside, and where you used to
born and raised in Wisconsin, lived in Waterloo, Wisconsin for pretty much all my life, moved to places around Waterloo as I grew older, Madison, Sun Prairie, and then recently just moved to San Antonio, Texas.
Ah, right on. That's I imagine quite the change, at least weather-wise.
Yeah, a little different weather. Weird now, not seeing snow in the winter.
Yeah, I bet. I don't know anything about Waterloo. Like, you could tell me it was a town of 1,000 or 5 million, and I wouldn't know. So what are we talking about? It's funny
when I say Waterloo, everybody's like, "Oh, Iowa." It's like, no, Wisconsin. Yeah, it's a small town. I think when I graduated, there was like 2,000 some people in town.
Oh shit, that is small. School.
So yeah, everybody knows everybody. Nobody locks their doors. That kind of stuff.
Is it a suburb of Metropolis?
No, it's just a random small town.
No shit. It was okay. So how close is the city that I've heard of?
We're probably about 25 minutes from Madison.
Oh, okay. Now, so Waterloo, is it big enough that this is how I base how big of a town it is?
Yeah.
Does it have a Walmart? Probably not.
No. So the as you know, the Wisconsin guys are drinkers. There's a lot of bars, but we do have a Piggly Wiggly grocery store.
Yes, Piggly Wiggly, baby.
We do have a Quick Trip.
I don't know Quick Trip.
They just recently got a laundromat.
They?
Yeah, Waterloo.
As in Waterloo?
Yeah.
Just got a laundromat?
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, everyone else.
And a couple gas stations.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah, holy cow. Well, so how many Golden Tee players, like, what is that? Is that in Waterloo where that Is it a bunker or a cave?
The lounge,
I
the
can't
Latte
remember. The
Lounge.
lounge, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually in Waterloo. It's in a auto shop.
Holy shit! And so, how many Gonti players are in Waterloo?
In Waterloo, or that play there?
There you go. Or
That
both.
play there?
Well, how about both questions?
Well, in Waterloo, there's probably about 4 or 5. Not all of them play a lot, or if
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
But there's probably, I would say, close to 7, 8 guys that come out and play on the weekends anyway.
That's crazy. I mean, that's amazing.
And random people stop by. They'll message somebody and say, "Hey, we're going to be in the area. We'd like to stop and see the lounge and hang out, play some games."
Sure.
I mean, we got a code on the door, so I can go or anybody could go at any time. You got you want to play Golden Tee at 2 in the morning, and you can't sleep.
Yeah.
Just go play.
Awesome.
So,
and so the Sussex tournament, is that close to there?
that's probably 45 minutes, 40 minutes.
Right on. Or did that
That's
form?
towards Milwaukee.
Did that tournament sort of form from you guys? Like, did you have a hand in it?
There used to be a tournament called the Wisconsin Open. Wasn't ran by PGT. I don't know if you know who David Crawford is. Plays as Crawdaddy.
Familiar. Oh, for that I certainly know. Yeah.
I believe it was kind of him who started a Wisconsin tournament, and it used to be at a different place for a while, and then they kind of got into a little argument or something, as from what I remember. And then they switched it to Sussex Bowl, which the tournament used to be in a little room by the bar in Sussex. I don't know if you ever went to the bar at all when you were there. You've never been to Sussex?
I've never been.
Oh, no. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a little area where they kind of do their dinner stuff. It used to be back there, and there used to be quite a few people that would show up. So it was a decent sized tournament. I'd say 30 guys used to come
handicapped in. Or open?
No, they think they played straight up. It was just no non-handicap, regular PG like style tournament. I believe there was I don't know if it was a 3-course qualifier, and then mostly it was everybody in the gold bracket. I mean, he didn't really have enough to have 2 brackets, but yeah, I mean, we used to get Luna, Evan, Mouth. I think I saw Stenmark there once.
Good gracious.
Josh Mertzig. Do you know who Josh Mertzig is?
Yes.
He was a big Wisconsin guy for a long time.
Yeah. Now, you said Luna and Evan. How far is St. Louis from there?
It's like 5 hours, I think. Huh. Yeah.
That's awesome. I've already just like derailed and gone completely off of my sheet here.
It's all good.
Let's see. So you're in Santa Fe. What you moved there for family or?
I've always wanted to try to move down to Texas to see what it was like. I visited there like once or twice a year. My grandparents moved there when I think when I just graduated high school, and then my aunt has lived down there forever. And I like to go visit. I liked it down there, and you can't beat the weather, and not in the summer, but
yeah,
spring, fall, winter, can't beat the weather down there.
How do you what's the transition like living in a big city?
Yeah, you definitely have to worry about traffic. That's for sure. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because when I go play Golden Tee, I usually meet Eric Hogan, plays his Luck Box. Mm-hmm. I usually meet him out when I go play, and the bar I play at is like 15 minutes from the house, and it's over by the airport. And getting there is not a problem, but leaving around 5, it's a disaster. So I've learned to find some shortcuts on the way back home. So
yeah. And what are you doing work-wise while you're down there?
I haven't done anything in a while. I've just been playing Golden Tee.
Yeah, hey,
Played some random poker
you
here and
got a
there.
big fat check to
Yeah,
lay back
yeah,
on for a while.
yeah. So,
Yeah, one of my questions was if you grew up playing sports, which was going to lead into, sport being poker of sorts. But did you grow up playing any sports?
oh yeah. My dad was big into sports. He was a really good athlete when he was younger. Yeah, I played pretty much. I played basketball and baseball were my two sports that I played. Um, we were pretty good in baseball. We had a really good team in baseball, and when we were in school, we actually won a state championship.
Good
Um,
gracious! So for a town of 2,000 people, how
yeah,
many
and
how many kids are in your graduating class?
uh,
50.
I want to say like 67 or something like that.
That's incredible.
70.
To
Yeah,
reproduce.
yeah,
That's because of all the bars.
yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, I don't know what it is now, but yeah, I used to I used to get laughed at because people are like, "Man, how many kids in your class?" And I'd say, "Oh, 70." And they're like, "Oh man, I had like 400 and something," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah. You're like, that's a quarter of our town.
yeah, that's our whole school."
And do you play golf? Not
Yeah,
video.
I used to play quite a bit. I haven't played much in the last few years, but yeah, I used to play a lot of golf. I was in a golf league when I was here in Wisconsin. Then there was a group of guys that would go out, and a lot of guys that their jobs allowed them to play a lot of golf. Some of
Yeah,
them retired. They would play almost every day during the week, and they'd have a big gambling thing going on, and I'd play maybe once a week with them.
yeah.
But I would say I was down to like a 9-10 handicap at one
Oh,
point,
Christ, that
but
is
now
excellent.
it's probably double that
Yeah,
because I haven't played in a long time. But
I haven't played in a while. I've gone through phases where I would play a lot, and then, but I just always suck. I don't know. I can't figure it out
it's a
because
tough game.
I've got decent eye hand coordination, but to that game, well, I just didn't have the consistency. I could play
Uh,
really well, like
yeah,
5 holes, and then have 3 holes in a row where I was
it's a tough game if you
nines.
don't play it every day. Coming in cold on the golf course is kind of tough. You lose a lot of your touch. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, now I think people that know you know that, like in the like during the World Championships or anywhere where there's a casino nearby, that you're not scared to play some slots. Do you have other game? Like, do you play blackjack too?
um, so I've played blackjack. I know how to play blackjack. I don't run good in blackjack for some reason.
I'm like that in craps.
And I feel like I'm making the right moves. I just never come out
Yeah,
on the winning end, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And so
Takes
I
the fun
just
out of it. That's for sure.
yeah, so I just try to avoid it. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I mean slots, poker. Um, I'll dabble in a little roulette here and there, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah. Um, do you play a fair amount of poker? I assume.
I was. I've kind of slowed down a little bit, but I was playing a decent amount of poker, a couple times a week.
Are
Um,
you? Do you have an affinity for tournaments or cash games?
um, I do both actually. I don't know if I like one better than the other. I kind of like them both, but
I'm the same way.
the thing about tournaments is it's such a grind sometimes.
Yeah.
You
And it sucks to grind
and be out of the
come on
money.
the bubble. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Oh, for sure.
uh,
Yeah. I like
I'm the
cash
king
game.
of
You
it.
can
I
leave
am the
whenever you
king of
want,
it.
but
Yeah, yeah,
tournament you got to stick it out. So
yeah. I find myself when I play in a tournament, especially one that's structured where it's going to last a long time. Um, and I play in one of those, and if I go, last a long time, but just come short of the money, I'm like, screw tournaments. I'm just going to play cash games, and then I'll play cash games for a few days, and I'll be like, yeah, let's try another tournament.
yeah,
That sounds fun.
yeah. That's what
let's
we
see.
do in Vegas when we go to the World Championships. Sandmeyer always sets up a poker day. It's usually Friday morning. We find a place that has a tournament. We get we get people together and go play. Andy
What's your-
Fox actually won
Oh,
the
it was
tournament last year.
Oh, he won the tournament. I thought you were going to talk about his deep run in the main event.
Oh yeah, that
was amazing.
Was that the year before? I think.
Yeah, that was the one
Not
that
last year, but the year before.
at downtown. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this past year, he won the tournament that we all got into. So,
where was that tournament?
I believe it was at Caesars. I think.
What's your favorite poker room in Vegas?
To be honest, I really haven't been to many of them. I don't really have one. I just I don't know. Actually, the one at I think it was South Point wasn't too bad.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
off the strip.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah.
That's where we used to go play poker tournaments.
Has that old school kind of feel.
Yeah.
Like the poker room itself, it's nothing flashy or anything. My favorite room is the Wynn. I love it. I like the layout, the decor. I like the action. Yeah, and the Wynn itself is just so beautiful. You just like, oh, this feels so nice, and I don't have to, like staying there is just ridiculously expensive. So
Yeah,
don't stay there. Just go play poker.
I think I've been to the Wynn one time. And I think we just walked in to check it out and left. So,
in the Aria poker room, that's really cool. I like that. My favorite used to be in this. How old are you?
42. I'm going to be 43 next month.
Your early birthday. So the old O'Shea's. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say O'Shea's?
I've heard of it. I don't really. I'm not sure.
So currently, it's on that link promenade that like goes back to the high roller Ferris wheel.
Okay.
And there's like an In-N-Out there, and there's a whole bunch of like bars and stuff. So anyway, there's a place called O'Shea's that. But the original O'Shea's was on the strip, like facing Caesars, and it was just like it was a fun, tiny little casino, and there was a stage. They would have live music and, cheap table games and beer pong in the back. But they had 2 poker tables that were like literally, like almost on the strip. Like they would, the doors would just be open or and you'd sit there in between hands and
just
5
people
feet
watch.
behind just people just going right by, and you'd sit there and look at Caesars, and you could look down and man, it was amazing. I would watch. I would just sit there and and the players were horrible. I mean, it was just like a one. It was perfect. You didn't have to. You just go on robot mode and just get hammered, and so you didn't have to concentrate. You just play ABC poker.
Yeah.
And they would just hand you money. It was just people walking by, especially back, a while ago when poker was all over television, and everyone was like, "Oh, I've seen that moneymaker guy can do it. I can," and they're like, "Oh," they just see a poker table and they're like, "Oh," and they sit down and out and they're gone. But the waitresses came around very frequently. And I would start there at night and then leave as the sun was already up. I remember I would frequent there when I was when the BCA pool tournament was at the Riviera, and then there was a gap between days. I would stay for BCA and then VNEA, and there was like 4 days where there was no pool. So I'd go there each night, and then I'd leave at like, I don't know, 8 in the morning, and and I'd be hammered, and I have my headphones on, and I'm walking back. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk back. And as I'm walking and stumbling down the sidewalk, there's people out there like jogging, like doing healthy shit, and I'm just like, yeah, the good old days, I tell you. Yeah, all right. Let's see. So how did you get into Golden Tee? Like, what was your first? How'd you find it?
Friends and alcohol started it. uh, um, yeah, it was a while ago. I used to hang out. We used to go drink. I used to go with Sandmeyer and Fitz and Roski. We just go to the local bar down here, and uh, one of the bars called MT Bar. Uh, they had
MT, like the letter M and then T.
yes, correct. um, they had a special certain days where it was mini pitchers. I can't remember the price, but they were cheap. And so we would just get a mini pitcher, no cups, just drink right out of the pitcher.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I remember those type of.
and them guys had already started playing Golden Tee. I had never played it, um, but it would sit right there by the bar, and they were playing it, and they're like, "Hey, you should jump in. You can get a card." And back when they showed it on the
Oh
machine,
yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, okay." So uh, I ended up just getting a card in the mail and
yeah.
making
What
my
year
own
was
account.
this?
Making my own account.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I started to play with them guys, and we'd play like a 4-man game, and it would take like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
um, I remember my name, my screen name, my first ever screen name was I Can't Putt, because I would miss every putt. I mean, they would laugh at me. I mean, 10-footers left two, I couldn't make. It was pretty bad. Um, but yeah, that's how I started. And back then, I love telling this story, but back then, Roski was the best player. Um, he used to kick all our butts. He was the first guy to ever get to 20 under. We were pretty excited that day. I think we had a few extra mini pitchers to celebrate his 20 under. Um, but yeah, because we could never see, we thought that was the top of the leaderboard when we were playing. Because we were so bad, we didn't know that there was people shooting 28, 29,
Yeah, yeah.
30 under. We just thought 20 under. And finally, when Roski got to there, he realized he was still in like 30th place in the contest. And so we're like, wow, these guys got to be cheating. How are these
You
guys
have to be
doing
cheating.
this?
Gotta be. Yeah.
And as soon as Roski broke that 20 under, I think Fitz got it right away, right after that. And then we started playing some more. We'd make it like a weekly habit of going to play. And one day we walked in, and there's a pinup board next to the machine, and it had a poster that said Painter Jim Sullivan Shootout Golden Tee Tournament handicap. So we were all talking about it, and we're like, "Wow, this is pretty cool. We're not good enough to play, but it'd be cool to go watch." And that's how that got started, and that's how we met Painter Jim. So,
Oh, right on. Um,
and this I think was back in 2012.
2012. All right. Oh man. Ah, that's crazy. We'd already had the Denver Open. That was like maybe the last year of the Denver Open, maybe 2013. Yeah, you were just getting started.
Yeah.
Oh man. When did you know that you jumped to the next level, and how did you do it? I mean, besides just playing a lot.
Uh, Quitting drinking helped a lot.
Yeah, but you were,
But
you were a fantastic player when you were still drinking, though.
I mean, I was okay. Yeah, I was okay. I don't know. I think just playing more. I mean, I played a little bit, but nowhere near the volume that I do now, or that I started to do. I mean, I would play maybe 30, 40 games a month back then.
Mm.
Then we got the lounge started, and man, I started playing 200, 250 a month.
Yeah.
And just I watched a lot of the tournaments, that I didn't go to. Watched a lot of YouTube. Just tried things myself.
Yeah.
And just worked on things that I needed to work on. Back before the stouts came out, became popular.
Sure.
Cutting the golf ball was huge. It is now.
Yeah.
When you got major wins like that, if you don't cut it in there, you're not going to get close to the hole. And that's something I had to figure out because I'm not a good putter. So I'm like, I got to figure something out, and I got to start hitting it closer. But yeah, just little things here and there, and then obviously I played with Clint quite a bit, Grover.
I was gonna ask like who you're. Usually the really good players have someone that was better than them, but they kind of.
Yeah, we used to get him to come up, at least once a month, maybe a couple times a month to play. And you want to talk about somebody that's got some really good golden tee skills. That kid can play, man. He doesn't play fulls, which is, kind of like you got a brutal look, easy full, get your shot, get it on the green, move on. And he's cutting everything in, and his cutting ability is just, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But yes, I learned, by watching Clint and some of the guys here, you learn stuff from everybody, whether they're a 15 handicap or 30 handicap. You always learn something from somebody, you're like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. Or really you can do that, and it's just, picking up little things here and there and putting it all together. And now we got a young kid that's playing at the lounge. Everybody knows. And, I'm actually learning a lot of things from that kid too. So.
Oh, with Bryce?
Yeah. He's got a lot of talent. So.
Well, yeah. Now, is he from Waterloo?
He actually lives 2 blocks away from the lounge. So.
Holy shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow. How did he get into it? Because the lounge is because that's not a bar. So yeah.
Well, he used to go to the bar with his dad and play.
Yeah.
Where we used to have 2 machines. He used to go play there with his dad, and I think Fitz saw him there once and said, "Hey, we got the lounge. You should stop in sometime. You don't have to be 21. Just come in and play."
You said your original screen name was "I Can't Make a Putt." I want to have a question about that, but first, when did you switch to Border Jumper? Is that your current screen name still? I can't remember.
Yeah, okay. I changed it back. I've changed it a few times just for some jokes, and then I always go back to it. But geez, I don't even remember, to be honest. I think I changed it. I want to say maybe 3 years ago, if that sounds right.
How did it come about?
We always are thinking of funny names to change your name to, and something that fits. I was actually Juan Putt before that.
Juan or Juan?
Juan.
Oh, Juan.
Juan Putt.
Juan Putt.
And I was that for a long time. Then I'm pretty sure you probably know about our wheel spins that we did at the lounge.
Yeah. I would see the videos with them.
We used to put names up to change names and stuff like that. And then we were thinking of my first year at Worlds. I was going to change my name, but I didn't know what to change it to. And we wrote a bunch down on the wheel, and I had to spin it to see what my name change was going to be. And that year, it actually landed on Buried the Alpha.
Oh.
Because
is that a Gino reference?
Yes, because we played in a purple final in Dallas that year, or the year before, in December, and I had lost to him in the King of the Hill match, So I had to come back and beat him twice, and I ended up doing it. And on the last hole on Tropical, we were tied, and I aced it for the win.
Oh man.
And so somebody had thought of the name Buried the Alpha at the Lounge. I'm not sure who did, so we put that on there. But I think I was border jumper at that time. So I would say around like 2020, 2021 probably. Something around there is when I changed it. But yeah, it's I'm not like Luna and I change my name every week. But I get a lot of compliments on the border jumper, and they say they like the name. So it's a hard one to get away from.
Yeah. Back in 2007-ish to 2010-ish, the place that I played had two machines, and there was about 8 of us that would play very regularly, and no one elite, but we drank a lot and had a lot of fun. But we came up with this thing, and I don't think I've heard other people doing it. Maybe they have, or some formation of it. But we had a thing called a bitch match. So we would gamble to some iteration. I don't remember. We play for low stakes. But if you challenge someone to a bitch match, there was no money on the line, and it had to be heads up. I don't think. Maybe you agree to a handicap. That really doesn't matter. So, let's say you and I played a bitch match, and I lost. I would have to change my screen name to Mark's Bitch for 1 week, and it would have to stick for 1 week, and I couldn't challenge back until that. Now, once the week was over, I could go back to my original name, but I couldn't. There was nothing I could do to win the right back. I had to suffer through the week. So those bitch matches were much more nerve-wracking than playing for a few bucks. That's for sure.
Yeah. A lot more of the pride than there is the money.
Yes. Yeah. Good times. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I know. What I was gonna ask about your putting. I miss a lot of putts. What was the screen name?
I can't putt.
I can't putt. So I'm very analytical when it comes to eye-hand coordination things. So when you look back on that time when you were first starting and you were bad at putting, do you attribute it to a breakdown in mechanics or aiming at the wrong spot, like not knowing how to read greens well? Like why were you missing more putts than you thought you should?
I don't know. I mean, maybe technique was one of the issues, and I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know. I just missed a lot of putts. I mean, I knew if it was a right 4, I had to aim about here, and I would just miss them. I don't know. It was a thing for me where I would just miss putts.
Now,
and I tried everything. I tried everything. I tried non-pullback. I tried thumbing. I tried pulling back, palm putting, like everything. Yeah. And it was just in my head at that point. And it took me a while to get it figured out.
I started a thing a couple of episodes ago where the previous guest asked a question for the next guest, not knowing who the next guest will be. And normally I leave that towards the end, but I'd forgotten what Jade had asked. And so I filled out my sheet of questions I wanted to ask you. And then after that, I went and rewatched Jade's interview of the part. And he asked a question. I was like, oh, shit, that's the same question I asked right here. So, therefore, this is Jade's question.
Okay.
Earlier in the interview. But what he asked was, it was a 2-part question. What was your first tourney that you attended? And what was your best experience from it? And not the experience could be either from a match, like the match play, or something happened socially, something that just you remember from the first tournament you went to.
Yeah. My first tournament was the Painter Jim Sullivan Shootout, the handicap tournament. I think it was just that. I can't remember if that was the year we went when I started playing, or it was the year after. It was the year of Tundra.
Okay.
I
I don't
remember.
remember what year that was.
I remember Tundra being in it. But yeah, we were all just in awe of some of the players because when we went, Kinsler was there. He came. Mertzig was there. Crawford ran the tournament. David Crawford was there, and also a guy that doesn't play anymore, but also from Illinois, was 6 Foot Stink. Paul Leedy. He was there.
What happened to him? He just.
I'm not sure. He was there, so we got to see some real Golden Tee, and it was an awesome experience. I mean, it was fun to watch. Like, going, man, I lay up in the fairway in that hole and hit a second shot, and then these guys are driving the green. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was awesome, and to realize how cool everybody is in Golden Tee. I mean, obviously you can't have 100% of the people be nice and awesome, but
Okay,
man,
let's see. So the ones that aren't awesome. Tell me who those are. All right, go.
Yeah, I could list a few. But anyways, yeah, it was a great experience. Learned a lot. Probably went. Let's just. I don't know what I was as a handicap back then. 17. I don't know. Maybe I went. Left that tournament. I was a 20. Just by learning things. Asking tips about putting, obviously, because I was horrible at it. And just knowing that you could drive some greens that we didn't even know you could do. Right there, you're gaining strokes if you hit the right shots. Obviously, we didn't know how to cut the ball or anything back then, so it was a lot of just turning and playing the wind and having those long putts that we hated. But yeah, it was real eye opening to see what we actually learned the spinny shot too there, because we heard that Josh Mertzig was the man with that. So I remember we were sitting down having some beers and we were just watching him play, and he hit a big spinny A1, and like his whole body lifted off the ground as he hits this shot, and we're like, oh, so that's how these guys are getting all this distance,
Yeah.
And, so that's how we saw that. But yeah, probably one of the best things I ever did was go to the tournament. Now you're hooked,
How many people were at that tournament? You remember, like the ballpark?
Probably 20 to 30 guys, I would say.
Oh, it's a pretty small field for some high caliber players.
Yeah, it's a thing that I know. Ken said he liked to come up just to hang out and play. And same thing with Stink. They would ride together. But yeah, there was some guys from the Milwaukee area. Rhino played in it.
Oh yeah.
His brother used to play Golden Tee too. I think his brother was there. Oh, another name. I'm not sure if you would know, but Brandon Becker. He's from Waukesha, or he was from the Waukesha area. He was a decent player. He doesn't play anymore, but he was there. I think he won it one year. But
boy, I tell you, not being you and I, we share a pretty rare trait in the Golden Tee community of not being drinkers. When did you stop drinking?
Uh, August 12th, 2018.
Holy shit! You and I have very. Mine was in April of 2018. Oh,
Yeah,
it's crazy, huh? It's a trip.
it's gone by fast too.
It's so fast. It's unbelievable. What was your catalyst for quitting?
I had a little accident, and I kind of got lucky. So I didn't want to have to be in that situation anymore. So I just said I'm done.
Did you have an accident? As in car accident?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got really lucky. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this year, as almost everyone would know that follows Golden Tee, you won Worlds. And the year before that, you won the silver bracket. How do you compare the level of nerves, if any at all, during those two runs?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. If I had nerves, it was good nerves. Been on the stage before. Obviously not for that much money or for that prestige, you know. But I've kind of learned to just relax, you know. Just another game, just another match, just you know, and playing against Paul in the finals. I've played with him a little bit, and he's just an easy guy to get along with, an easy guy to play with.
I thought you were going to say he's an easy guy to beat.
No, well, that's another story. He's not. I was like 0-3 or 0-4 against him before Sunday match play there, and I already had known that, and I had to play him earlier on, and I actually beat him, and that was like the first time in match play that I finally beat him. I finally got one of the monkeys off my back. But yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with who you're playing compared to being there. If you could play and be comfortable with the person you're playing with, then to me it's just another game. No matter, you got everybody watching you. You know, you're on the screen, you're on the stream, you just kind of got to block it out, and it's just another game.
Yeah. For me personally, I get nervous whether it's Golden Tee tournament or pool tournament, my first match of the day. And then every match going forward, I just get less and less nervous.
Yeah.
To the point where by the time the third one hits, it doesn't matter how crucial of a shot I'm facing. It's like my heart's not beating any faster than it is right now. And but the first match, it's for some reason you would think it was life or death. Like,
well, it's
my heart's going.
It's all the waiting. I mean, I think it's, you know who you're playing. You know, you've had to sleep on it overnight. You know, I don't care who you are. You always get thoughts in your head. You know, like,
yeah,
what's gonna happen, or what course are we gonna spit? You know, just stupid things like that that just go through your mind. You know, and
yeah.
Like you said, yeah, I mean, I could see the nerves in the first match. You know, the first match is crucial. You just got to get by it, and then, like you said, you can get in a little more comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, you lose your first match, now you're like, man, you know, I can't lose anymore, and that's a lot of pressure. Knowing that you have to win every match on the way up. You know,
yeah,
you don't have that one loss to fall back on. But to me, qualifying is where I kind of get nervous.
Yeah.
Not match play. Qualifying is, I've never been a good qualifier per se. There's time. I mean, I know I should never really be in a purple bracket. I mean, at least now, you know, I know.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes in the back of your mind going, man, I don't want to be in, you know, I don't want to miss the gold bracket. But, you know, things happen. Whether an operator error or something happens in the game, you know, things happen, and you just got to deal with it. But Yeah, I have more pressure trying to qualify than I do playing a World's Finals match on the stream. Uh, I don't know that's just me.
You qualified 31st?
31st. Like I
Man.
said, I don't qualify well at all.
Yeah.
I believe I put up a 24 under on Missouri Hills,
Oh, yeah.
and yeah, that.
The juggernaut of Missouri Hills.
And I love that course. Like that was my favorite course. I felt comfortable on that course. I I just clipped two trees that I not even sure if I've ever hit before in my life.
Yeah, I've done that in qualifier.
I tried two shots that I've never hit before. So it's like, why am I doing this in the qualifier when I just know I can do this, And that's the kind of stuff that just it messes with you. And you just something dumb. It's always something dumb.
Yeah. While I'm looking over this stuff, it says funny stories or input that you got anything for me that I can help while I try to decipher my chicken scratch here? You got any interesting tidbits you could throw at me?
Actually, yeah, I do. I am going to be moving back to Wisconsin.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Yeah, I've made the decision. I've been thinking about it for a couple months. I know people miss me. I know people miss me.
You could take a good man out of Wisconsin, but you can't. I don't remember how the rest of it.
I know people miss me, and I miss my friends, and I miss my family a lot. And I don't know. It was just a thing to try for the Texas thing, but I feel like home is Wisconsin. So I'm going to be moving back. It's going to be real soon too. I'm driving back up the week of Sussex tournament, and then I'm just staying from there.
Well, if for some strange reason Dave Sandmeyer doesn't know this yet, he's just going to start crying in the middle of this.
I already told the guys at the lounge last Friday. They didn't even know I was coming up here. I didn't tell anybody. My dad was visiting me in Texas. He had drove down. He doesn't like to fly too much, especially by himself. So he drove down, stayed a couple weeks, and he goes, "Well, why don't you come back with me? Stay a couple weeks or something." He goes, "I'll fly you back down." And I'm like, "I'll think about it," And I think a lot of the reason was he didn't want to drive all the way back by himself. It's a long drive, and we've made it a bunch of times, but he likes to drive straight through. He doesn't like to stop, and that's a long drive. So I thought about it, and I said, "Yeah," I'll come up. I said, "But I don't want to tell anybody that I'm coming up." I said, "I didn't even tell my sister." He was him and my aunt were the only two that knew that I was coming. Right. So I know everybody plays Friday, and I had to tell Rhino because he's probably one of my best friends. So I told him to make sure that everybody was at the lounge so I could surprise him, make sure everybody was there. I didn't want to show up and not have nobody there, So yeah, Friday night I went and knocked on the door. Actually, Kevin, the owner of the auto shop, opened the door, and I was like, "Quiet," So I went in, and they're like, "What the hell?" Like, "What are you doing here?" And then so we talked a little bit. And then I remember somebody had made a comment of, "Oh, so you're back, huh?" And the jokingly,
sure, yeah.
And I said, "Well, yeah, actually, I am." I said, I retired the 23 jersey, and now I'm coming back as number 45. So yeah, I got some tears out of Dave for sure. But yeah, everybody's pretty happy.
Yeah, that's
I'm pretty
awesome.
happy. So
now, when you left to go to Texas, and then when you left, or when you're leaving Texas, in either of those two moves, did you break any hearts?
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no hearts are broken.
Uh, I didn't know if maybe there was a pull in one direction, like, well, there's a rekindled flame.
No,
Relationships in Golden Tee don't mix unless you find that really cool girl that goes to the tournaments.
it's kind of hard to find a girl that will watch you play a video game or understand why you're playing a video game.
Yeah, I am extremely fortunate, and my wife is super cool. Now, she will never go to one of those tournaments, but she's incredibly supportive and has never once been like, "You're going to play Golden Tee again."
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes she'll be like, "You're going to play Golden Tee today, right?" All right. Well, I think next we can go to what some people look forward to and some guests don't. But the Quick Shot Turbo Seat.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure you know how it works, but I'm still going to refresh the rules. I'm going to read off a list of names, and you think of the first. Try to make it one word, just not like a long phrase or sentence to describe them. And it's off the cuff, so it can be ridiculous. It doesn't have to be completely accurate. And then we'll go back. We'll go back and discuss why you use that word. Mark Gomez, are you ready for the Quick Shot Turbo Seat?
Give it to me.
All right, let's go, baby. All right, first one. Sean Gervais.
Boy, that's a kind of a tough one.
I know, right? You gotta get the tough ones off the.
Chick-fil-A.
Right on. Now I need to go get my pen just ran out. Hold on, hold that thought. Because if I don't write these answers down, you and I will both forget them. Trust me. Next one, Eric Nelson.
Oh wow. Creator. Let's just go with creator.
Next one, Brian Roski.
Let's see here. What's the word I'm trying to think of?
Well, I don't even have a.
I can make
response.
it more than one word. Can I make it two?
Oh
words?
yeah, sure. Yeah, like a hyphen type thing. That's allowed.
Let's just say big heart.
Okay. Paul Taylor.
I'm gonna say mechanic.
I like that. Adam Fitzgerald.
Boy, this is kind of a tough one.
Did you say a tough look?
A tough one.
Oh, they said a tough look. I'm like, oh, you play too much Gold Tee.
Can we skip that one for now? Let's come back to that.
Sure. We'll revisit. All right. Al Jazz.
Stubborn.
Tom Cruise.
Wow. Jeepers. You're getting me here. I don't know. We'll have to skip that one again.
Just pop it out.
I can't even think of anything at the second.
All right, we'll come back.
Movies. Let's just say movies.
Movies. All right, there we go. Bryce Albert.
Future.
All right. Oh, CJ.
Sorry, CJ. You're an old man now.
Russ Layton.
Machine.
All right. I'd probably be chastised if I didn't include this name. Dave Sandmeyer.
Buddy.
Okay. Adam Fitzgerald.
Tall.
right. Mark Gomez. You survived the quick shot turbo seat. Ding, ding, ding. I need like a bell. That's the next one. All right. Let's review. Okay. The first one, we had Sean Gervais, and you said Chick-fil-A.
I think we all know why.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like when he dies, he's going to come back as a chicken nugget.
I feel like that the corporation needs to recognize the dedication and attention this man has given to them. And I assume he's not. What are they? Is it Mormon, or I know they're religious of some kind? The Chick-fil-A. I know they're very religious. They're closed on Sundays.
Yeah, they're not open on Sundays. So
Yeah, I can't remember what. It might be. No, not Mormon, but it's. Yeah, well, whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe Sean can tell us.
I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, I'm sure he does too. Okay. Eric Nelson, you said creator.
Yeah, he's the one that started the Golden Tee fan page on Facebook.
Oh,
so he's the one that
I
started.
forgot that.
He's the one that started to bring us all together.
Oh man!
Before it was, what did they have? How did Golden Tee players communicate before that?
Golden Blab, Underdog Sports.
Underdog, yeah.
Yeah.
Now you got Facebook, and he created the fan page, and it's
that thing is
there.
awesome. It's I still use it to go back and look at holes from courses that I don't remember. Especially like if I'm talking to someone and I'm playing like an old course and I'm like, oh, on this course and like Tundra hole 6, and I'll open that up and then take a screenshot of the hole capture.
And I mean, him doing that, and he's a super nice guy. Super awesome guy. He was really happy for me at Worlds and gave me a big hug, and I think he was emotional too.
All right, next one, Brian Roski, and you said big heart.
Well, yeah, that guy, he's got one of the biggest hearts I know. He'll do anything for anybody. He's one of those guys that almost like he cares more about you than he does himself. I mean, there's a lot of things that we've needed, whether it be he started doing the gift cards, I guess, now at the lounge. So he's the one in control of that, but he, anything you need on your vehicle, brakes, whatever.
Oh.
Throw him a 30-pack. Boom, done.
He's like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption.
Correct. But not just vehicle, anything. The guy has, he's got
anything
a huge
you
heart.
want.
And I've always wanted to say this, and I'm going to remember it now. But he is also one of the guys that taught me how to cut the golf ball.
Oh, no kidding.
So I have to give him a shout out for that.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, if you need a game for your basement, he's the man to find.
There's another guy. Yep. He's nobody better than him and Fitz on the home editions. So.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to throw Fitz under the bus. I actually wasn't aware that he was a...
Yeah, it's them together. So.
Oh, well, I thought you meant they were in competition with each other.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. You learn something new every day.
There you go.
Yeah. Paul Taylor, you said mechanic.
Yeah, he's whenever you think you've seen everything, he comes out with something different, shot wise in the game. He's so creative. Things he does it's fun to watch, and
yeah,
I probably could have said big heart for that guy too, because he is super cool. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. He's got the same expression.
Yeah.
He could lose by 5 and he'll shake your hand and good game. He wins, same thing. And he's one guy that people should really look at when how you should be acting.
Yes, yeah, I completely agree.
During Golden Tee matches and just his demeanor.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, let's see. Al Jazz, we got Stubborn.
Oh yeah, he's a stubborn guy. He's
It sounds like there's a story involved in this.
I remember when I first kind of met Al. I kind of thought he was kind of a asshole. Yeah, I feel like we didn't.
I love Al.
I used to drink, so I'm sure I was kind of a asshole back. But
if you don't know him, if you just look at him, you could say he's intimidating.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
You're exactly right.
But then you meet him, and he's the least intimidating guy I've ever met.
It was kind of like we hated each other. We gave each other crap all the time, and I remember I wasn't great at Golden Tee, but I think it was Chicago. We got paired up in the doubles, and we didn't do that great. I mean, I didn't play good. I wasn't good. But
you missed a putt.
Yeah, but I'm sure I missed a couple. But yeah, and just us clashing, made it. I mean, we're sitting here arguing with each other the whole time, but I actually got to know Al quite a bit, and we joke around a lot. We have a messenger group. The Wisconsin guys and the Minnesota guys are together, and we go back and forth on that.
Let's see. Next. Well, I think with more time, you could have been a little bit more creative. But with Tom Cruise, movies.
I didn't know what to say.
That's okay. That was a through a curveball. I do that with everyone.
I like Tom Cruise movies. I like his older movies.
Yeah.
Cocktail's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like that movie.
I'm a big fan of this Color Money.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Vince
from the movie. Yep, absolutely.
Yes, that's a classic. That's a great movie, actually.
Paul Newman won Best Actor for that role.
On that one?
That year, yeah. One of his movies, I think that was underappreciated. Vanilla Sky. Did you ever see that?
So I've never watched it, but I've flipped through and been like, man, I should watch that, and then I just get distracted and I find something else.
It's really cool.
I've never actually watched that one.
It's great, and it's one thing I like about it is because it's hard to find this day and age is that it's so original. It's an original storyline. I mean, of course, you can say, well, there's a similarity to something, but it's
is that where he's got the weird looking face?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm not going to say anymore because there's different levels. As the movie goes along, you're like, oh, I didn't see that coming, and then you're like, oh, and then you find out that what you just thought is not what it actually is. Yeah, it's really cool.
Now I might have to watch that tonight.
Yeah, you'll dig it. I believe. If it's piqued your curiosity, then you will like it. Okay, we got Bryce Albert, and you said Future.
Yes, definitely Future. The Future might have come faster than I thought, but yeah, that kid's got some skills.
Oh yeah,
some mad skills. He
the best quick chipper, would you say?
Oh, without a doubt. If not the best click chipper, he has the most confidence in chipping anything that he can get his hands on. I mean, he sets up holes for his click chipping. I mean, like holes you wouldn't even think about click chipping on, unless obviously you miss the green, right?
Yeah.
He's hitting it to spots where he's got space to click chip. And it's
instead of
coming in with a normal shot, a normal Golden Tee shot, right? He's hitting it to a spot where he knows he has a chance to click chip. It's
instead, like if it's a tough look at a green where there's a lot of risk reward, like where you has a chance of spinning in the water, he'll like put it in
no,
the
no.
rough or the sand
I'm
next to
talking
it.
people lay up in a fairway on a hole that's not drivable, and he's finding an area where he can hammer it up there and have an opening for a click chip. And I'm talking over 100 yards.
Oh God,
it's insane.
yeah,
He's and the math on his, I can't really do the math on his because he thumbs it so damn
hard. Yeah,
I mean,
I can't believe it.
He's thumbing 110, like nothing.
Yeah. I see him take like he'll for example, like if it's like if I like my 3-wood, I typically use like 8 or 9 yards per click for me with my speed of and which I know is softer than the average, and
he's probably playing at 20 yards,
maybe more. Like it's ridiculous. I'm like, I count his clicks, and I'm like, that's not even. What is he doing? That's not going to get even halfway to the hole. And the next thing I know, it just screams in.
Yeah, he clicks like 2 clicks, and you're like, well, that ain't enough, and it just comes firing in. Yeah, his thumbs are ridiculous. And not just his click chipping. I mean, he's hitting fulls. He knows how to play the wind. I mean, he's a really aggressive player. He lives and dies by it. So, it's just he's got all the confidence in the world.
For sure. Yeah.
He's not afraid of any shot. He's not afraid of anything. Not afraid of anyone. Matter of fact, I think he enjoys having to play Haas or Luna or those guys because that's what he does. He loves the challenge, and he wants to win.
Yeah. Then speaking of Haas, then the next future, the future is AJ. Did you watch the stream?
So I watched the stream.
I mean, he wasn't on the stream.
Obviously, we didn't get to see him play, but I heard things, about how he was doing. I mean, some of the scores he put up in a qualifier.
He put up the back-to-back.
I think he had 2 28s, right?
He did. Yeah, that's how we finished.
And he's playing Cosmos, correct?
That I don't know, but
I think he is.
Yeah.
That's.
I know he beat
pretty
Kavanaugh
good for 9 years old.
First round.
Yeah. What does that do to a guy? I just lost my first match to a 9-year-old. Like what? Just deflate.
Oh man!
And that's how I was with Bryce for a while. Like I can't let this kid beat me, Like, and now it's just like, yeah, you almost expect it.
Okay, let's see. 2 more. We got Russ Slayton. You said Machine.
Oh yeah, what he does to for the setup and the takedown of all those tournaments, man. You gotta have some patience and he's got a lot of knowledge too of the machines and the setups.
Sure.
They got all that figured out by now, but to drive the machines, to drive them back, and now they're getting flat tires and nails in their tires and
at
stuff
the Denver
like
Open, they got their truck stolen.
Really? I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, like the last day, like after the machine. I don't think it might have been after the machines were loaded up, and it was like no, because they would have left town. I don't remember. I just remember it was after the tournament. I feel like it was the next day, and he texted me and said our truck got stolen. I was like, oh shit! I just don't remember if all the machines were in it, but they ended up whoever
were they still renting a truck at that time too? Because I believe they rent a truck when they drive.
Remember. I want to say they own their truck now, right? Or their trailer.
The trailer they own, I know that.
They own the trailer.
But I believe they always rent a truck.
Oh, that part. Okay, then it was their trailer that got stolen.
Okay.
Or no, it was I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember the details. It was so long ago. All I know is that it was found. Cops found it a couple miles away, and nothing. They they didn't lose. I don't think anything got taken. Maybe something out of the front seat, something kind of small or something. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So that's what they have to deal with.
Actually, I think their last
And
one,
flat
they
tires.
just, I think their bolts sheared off, right? Of their,
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
yeah,
that didn't even make sense to me. I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening here in this
Yeah.
picture?
yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
that guy, and it's not just him either. I mean, you got Kelly
Oh,
Ambrose
of
that
course.
helps,
Yeah.
and then other people jump in and help too.
Yeah.
Fitz and I
And
used to help at Sussex. We would help set up.
one thing about Russ that I think a lot of people don't, when he's like Steve in that when he's at the tournament, he's all business. But when you hang out with Russ away from the job and the Golden Tee, that
Mhm.
guy is so funny. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yep.
And I
And
think a lot of people
for a
don't,
guy that doesn't play much Golden Tee, can still play decent.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, he only plays at the tournaments, really.
Yeah.
It like he'll come in and be like, "Yeah, I haven't even played these courses yet. I don't even know." And blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Geez, and that's a guy. I feel like if he played more, he'd
Oh, for sure.
be pretty solid,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's funny how he just comes in and just plays, and he's decent at it,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. And the last one, Dave Sandmeyer, who said, buddy.
Yeah, one of my best buds for sure.
Yeah.
And
He's from Waterloo, I assume.
he lives in Waterloo, yes. He's actually from a small town close to Waterloo, probably about 10 minutes from Waterloo. But yeah, Waterloo is where he's at. Yeah, he's kind of like, he's just like Roski, big heart, do anything for you. But Dave and I, we really, I would say we're the ones that we hung out the most. We did a lot of things together. He's always there for me. I try to be there for him. Awesome guy. I come to town unannounced. He goes, "You can stay at my house." Throws me the keys to his Jeep. He says it's yours for the week. Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just being around, hanging out. It's what we always did. It's what we always do. And yeah, just a good person to have in your life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's super cool. And I mean, I don't know him that well, but he's one of those guys like that when you instantly meet, you're like, oh, that's good people. Right there.
Everybody always sees, oh, this guy's always getting hammered, but nobody sees the not hammered Dave like most of us do. But he's still he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Do you have any stories or anything that you want to relay? Or comments?
I guess whatever. I can remember one pretty good story. I want to say it was, so my first tournament I ever went to, I think, was Chicago, PEGT. The next one I went to was St. Louis, and that was when they had it at that Redbirds.
Oh, yeah, Redbirds.
I think it was a smoking bar, too, I believe. Was it one with the hotel in the parking lot?
Yes, yeah, yep.
Actually, this is probably a two-part, but I remember, so we drove down, and this was when my job I worked 12-hour shifts, so I would work 3 on, 4 off, and I worked a night shift. And it was Friday, I think it was Friday morning. So Thursday night, Friday morning, I'd got off, and we were leaving to drive down at like 8 in the morning. And if you know Dave Sandmeyer, and you know them guys, can't really make a trip without beer, right? So we leave at 8 in the morning. I haven't slept. Been up all night working. I get in there, and there's a cooler of beer in there in the back, So this is when we rode with Brandon Becker. I talked about him earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know him, but so he was driving us down, and I think it was him, Fitz, Roski, Dave, and I, all together. And of course, as soon as we leave the parking lot, we start drinking. And I don't even know how many beers I had on the way down, but when we got there, I was already filled to the top. And so they were already saying he isn't going to make it all night. He's going to be back sleeping, which I probably should have been, because no sleep and then drinking all those beers. But anyway, so we had gotten down there, and I remember I was just hammered, and I don't remember even playing Golden Tee, but I remember that I loaded up on golf balls and tees. I had a lot. I must have played a lot of games Friday. I don't remember, but I must have. But I do remember I was hounding the mouth. I said, I want to do a long drive contest for $50 or $100. I said, I can outdrive you. And I remember I was just hounding him, and I wouldn't let it go. Well, it was later that night, and I can barely stand up, And I'm pounding him, and he goes, fine, let's go, He goes, let's just do it for 50. And I said, okay. And he goes, well, what course we playing, and what balls and clubs we using? And I remember Sandmeyer looked at him, and he goes, mouth, Mark can't even stand up. Does it matter what clubs or balls we're using at this point? And so he fired it up, and I remember it was Hawthorne 1. I don't know why we picked Hawthorne. And I hit my tee shot, and I whiffed it, and I hit it maybe 120 yards off the tee.
Oh God!
Mouth gets up there, and he hits it left-handed, and he just goes boom like this, and he hits it way out into the fairway. And I go, well, I guess I owe you $50. I said, I got to go to the ATM. I'll be right back. And so yeah, I don't remember. Dave had to tell me the story. And then I guess the following day we had qualifying, and so I got ready to qualify, and I had no tees or no golf balls left, pretty much. I was on stock balls and was real short on tees, and I asked Dave, how many games did I play last night? Because I am out of everything. But yeah, that was kind of a funny story, but. And I made it till 3 a.m. that night. I don't know how I did it.
Professional.
But, yeah. So that was my real true first party time for a tournament. I'll tell you what, that David Key can play Golden Tee when he's hammered. I've witnessed it multiple times.
Yes,
he does point a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got that no fear. He doesn't care,
Yeah,
He doesn't care if he loses $10,000.
Yeah,
he don't care.
He can also play terrible, but he can.
I've seen him light it up though. It's I don't know how he does it.
I might have told this story on one of the other episodes. I don't remember, but I think it was one of the Nashville tournaments. But same thing, late night, and Evan and Key and Kyle Heasley, 3 of them were playing for some, big bounce of money, and they were playing. It might have been Champ, I don't know, but whatever it was, they were playing. And I walk up, and they're on hole 8, and Key and Kyle Heasley are both 2 under. After 8 holes, and I was like, "What the?" And Evans at 12 under, it's 13, and I was like, "What the hell happened?" And David Key's like, Kyle and I both stroke limited hole 2. I'm like, stroke limited? I was like, is there even water on that hole? I was like, how does that happen? And Evan goes, well. Sometimes the game, it just sneaks up on you. And then everyone started laughing. Well, except for Kyle and David. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, well. Jade had his question, which you dutifully and very expertly answered. what I do not know who the next guest will be, so it won't be catered towards anyone specifically. But have you come up with a question that we can?
Yeah, I think I have
to ask. All right,
I think I
let's
have a
hear it.
question.
I'm gonna write it down.
I would say,
I can just watch it back.
what would you be doing if you weren't playing Golden Tee? Like, if you didn't have Golden Tee, you didn't have this community, what is the other thing that you think you would be doing in life besides Golden Tee?
That is the best question we've had so far. I don't need to write that down. It's recorded. We'll just go back and watch. Yeah, that's a great question, Mark. It's great. I love it. I love it. Love it.
I don't even know what I'd be doing, to be honest.
For me, it's easy.
Pool.
Oh, speaking of pool, you share an affinity for the game.
Yeah, I used to play a lot of pool. I never played pool until I was 18 and I moved to Madison with my dad. And there's a pool. It was called the Pool Barn. It was just a little pool hall literally across the highway. And I met a couple people from Madison and they went there, so I went. And on my days off of work, I would shoot pool, and I was terrible. Horrible. My dad shot.
I can't imagine there was much pool in Waterloo for anyone to learn
I mean,
from.
there was. They had league and they had a tournament that would bounce around, but yeah, I was terrible. My dad and one of his best buds shot pool, and his buddy was really good at pool. But I was trying to learn, and I would go there all the time. Every day I had off, I would be shooting pool there. It was cheap. Met some friends there, and then I started going out with my dad and his buddy, and we would go to a place where they had 9-foot tables. And boy, I thought I was bad on the 7-foot. We got on the fast 9-footers, and it was like night and day. Yeah, and I was bad. Like, I couldn't make shots, and I said I don't want to be bad at this game. I want to get better, so I just shot a lot.
Back before, I mean, I was playing Golden Tee a little bit, but way before Power Events became a thing. I didn't meet Paige, but I would see her at BCA Nationals, and there was a couple times during Scotch doubles that she was playing a couple tables down from my girlfriend and I, and she, just, especially back then. This is early 2000s.
So Paige actually shot pool?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
And and her, I think she's, I know her ex-husband was a good player, but I don't know if she played Scotch with him. I know she played Scotch with this guy named Rich Cunningham, who I knew well because he ended up, he was from Minnesota, but somehow I think he lived in St. Louis for a while, but he ended up living in Denver for a long time, and he's now moved back to the Midwest. Anyway, I just remember that she was shooting down, and she was young and attractive and playing pool and just a couple tables down, and so every guy, and even though I had a girlfriend, I wasn't like going over to introduce myself, but I just visually remember seeing her. And then flash forward years later at one the our events tournament at Features, and I think it was before she was involved in the company, but she was cocktailing there, and that was a pool hall, and that's when she came around or something. I was like, "Do you play pool?" She said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Did you go to BCA Nationals?" She was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "I saw you 6 years ago." I was like, "My girlfriend and I were playing down." So anyway, and then that was a long roundabout way to get to it. That I've been trying the last couple of years. I was like, Paige, let's go play in the play BCA league so you can get qualified, and then let's go play Scotch. Like, how much fun would that be? I was like, and then we'll live stream our matches, and all the Golden Tee dorks will be watching and pulling us for us. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah,
I thought I kind of half talked her into it for a little bit, and then And then she was like, she's like, oh, just this year I can't do it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna keep hounding you, and we'll see. But it's a commitment. I mean, she's got kids. She's got Evan, who's a grown kid.
Yep.
And she's got
she's got a lot
job.
going on.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on to go play league once a week, to get qualified. But that sure would be fun. Yeah. But she's like, I haven't played in so long. I'm like, that doesn't matter. Yeah. But I'll keep hounding her. We'll see. Maybe one of these years. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on. And I was thinking about this after I'd asked you to be on it, but just a couple of days ago, and I was like, yeah, like, I've known who you are. I've known you for a long time, and but I feel like just recently, in the last few tournaments, we've gotten to know each other better, and I was like, you have one of those qualities that I like get drawn to, and that you are really funny, dry humor, and I'm as dry as they come. I know that we weren't, scratching the surface of our dry humor, but like on Sunday night playing 1 through 5 games, and some of the comments that we're firing.
Oh yeah.
Or I hear you saying to people,
Yeah.
it cracks me up, and I'm like, like that's good people right there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have fun, right? You can't just be lame and boring. That's not fun. So
yeah,
I'd rather somebody cracking jokes and ripping on me and me ripping on you than not saying anything. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. And let's see, I think next tournament I'll see you in, you going to St. Louis, I assume, right?
I'm not sure. I know I'm going to Sussex, but after that I don't know. Not 100% yet. So.
All right. Well, then how about if we don't see each other in St. Louis, then we'll
probably be Worlds.
Each other Worlds, baby.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, man.
So I appreciate you having me.
Oh, right on. All right, everyone. Take care. Peace.
Later.